What's up, everybody? John here with Hendrix Racing. Just wanted to kind of go over everything that happened at Jennings. Firstly, let's say this is how it started. As you can see, everything was going great. We were having an awesome time. And then this is how it ended.
Oh my God! And there it goes! Holy crap! Oh, shit! Woo! Let's get this!
As you can see, canopy is destroyed. It was pouring down rain. Canopy got thrown across the pit area. So we do have to buy a new canopy, but that's all right. I do want to kind of go over what I've noticed about the 09 R6 that my buddy Austin was so gracious to let me spin some laps on compared to my 07 R1. As you guys may know, I am currently in the process of building an 07 R6. So it was nice to be able to spin a couple laps on something similar to what I am building and will be riding in the future. My 07 R1 currently has upgraded springs in the front and rear. So they were really stiff for whenever I was 406 pounds. I got the tightest sprung springs that I could possibly get. Now that I'm, I think, like 248, 245, something like that, I'm having to relearn how to ride the bike, being able to use the suspension. So that has been an interesting learning experience for me. So anyway, so back to going to Jennings, I asked him if I could spin a couple laps on his R6. He said absolutely. So I hop on the R6. The first thing I noticed was how small it was in comparison to my R1. Tank was more narrow, bike felt more narrow, felt more nimble, which as it should. So I started going out, and I also noticed that his front brakes weren't as stiff as mine. He had more play in his, maybe not play. When you would grab a handful of front brake, they seem to be softer. Mine on the 07 R1, when I would grab a handful of front brakes, they felt like they would bite sooner. So it could just be an adjustment on his lever for the front brakes, which is fine. I did notice that going down the front straight, I obviously didn't feel like I had as much power behind it, behind me, I should say, as I did on the R1. However, those of you who have been to Jennings, from 3 to 10 or so, turns 3 to turn 10, I felt like I was moving substantially quicker. I felt like I could throw the bike over much more easily than I could on the R1. I wasn't relying on the power as much as having to use skill or abilities to do so. I also learned that coming out of one, when I would get on the gas, I would feel the back end move around a little bit, which I was not feeling on my R1. So to me, that says I'm not pushing the R1 as hard as I possibly can. So that is definitely something that I'm absolutely going to be working on. So yeah, so it's more nimble. The brakes weren't as stiff as I was used to, so I didn't feel as comfortable braking as deep as I normally would. I also have a Motion Pro throttle on my R1, which he just has a factory throttle tube and everything on his R6, so it took more rotations to get to full gas. But other than that, I've really enjoyed riding the R6. I've had an 04 R6 and an 01 R6 that I got rid of. Looking back, I really wish I didn't do that. This was before I started doing any track stuff. But I'm excited about building this 07 R6. Typical Jennings during the summer or spring, gnats were a royal pain. They sucked so bad. I did not get any onboard footage of me on the R6, but I do have some footage, couple videos going into turn 1 at Jennings. I'm hoping we can go back out there and I can get some onboard footage of me on the R6. I do have some onboard footage of me on the R1. I also believe I turned my fastest lap time that I have at Jennings. It was 1:32. My new goal now is to get into the 29s. I'm still not super fast at all. I just recently got my bump to intermediate, and I was even told if I could shave 10 seconds off, I'd still be a slow advanced rider. And I'm like, that's crazy. I got that bump last year, but anyway, I'm super excited about everything that's going on. I'm still working hard. I'm actually shooting this right before I hop on my bicycle to do 30 to 40 miles. Been training hard, eating right, just trying to do all the right things to stay in shape, to stay fit. I'm going to start maybe incorporating some kettlebell stuff too. But yeah, other than that, had a great time at Jennings, and getting the trailer prep. Trailer was soaked, had to run a dehumidifier for a few days. But other than that, trailer's good to go. Got to load up the trailer, got to repack everything, got to buy a new canopy. But we will be at Road Atlanta next weekend. I believe it's the 23rd. Let me check the calendar real quick. Let's see, sorry about that. Yep, I'll be pulling into Atlanta on the 22nd, and then we're racing at Road Atlanta the 23rd and 24th. So if you're around, come hang out, come say hey. I should be pitting with Aaron Dearborn, a good friend of mine. Yeah, come hang out. Like I said, come say hey. We'd love to meet everybody, take some photos, just come hang out in the pits. It's always a good time. I want to thank everybody who is behind us. Woolsey Morcom Law Group. We got Vo2 Leathers, Roadshark Powersports, and yeah, Jennings was Jennings, and it was doing a lot of typical Jennings stuff. So, had an awesome time though. Any day at the track's better than any day at the office, as they say. So stay tuned for next week. We will have some probably videos of us repacking the trailer, and then I'll be shooting content. I'm gonna try and shoot some content all weekend to to kind of show what goes on at a WERA racing event, especially at Road Atlanta for Cycle Jam. So definitely can't wait for all that. Stay tuned. Please give us a like, subscribe, and maybe post a comment down below. What is your favorite racetrack to go to, and also what bike do you ride? So like I said, stay tuned, and hope to see you there. Peace.